This story was sent in by someone named Sandeep. But for the sake of this narration, imagine it's me telling you firsthand. I've been driving 18-wheelers across America for over 8 years now. My job takes me through mountains, deep forests, and endless highways in every kind of weather. You name it. Snowstorms, blizzards, fog so thick you can barely see the hood of your truck. I've been through it all. But there was one night, one stretch of road that I'll never forget. It was winter, and I'd been on the road for over a day. My company contracts had me hauling 2 full trailers, and I was running solo. No one else in the cab, no other trucks in convoy with me, just me and my 18-wheeler barreling down icy roads. By the time night fell, I was exhausted. The snow had picked up, slowing me down to a crawl. I knew if I kept going without a break, I might lose control. So I decided to pull over. I found a small clearing along the road, surrounded by thick pine forest, blanketed in snow. It was remote. No towns, no houses, no motels, just wilderness. I shut off the headlights, parked, and pulled the curtains across my windshield and side windows. The cab went dark and sealed tight. No way for anyone outside to see in or for me to see out. The silence was heavy. The kind of silence where even the smallest sound carries. I boiled some water and made a quick cup of instant noodles. After eating, I stretched out on the bunk in the back of the cab, scrolling through my phone, just trying to relax. That's when I heard it. At first, I thought I was imagining things. A faint crunching sound. Snow shifting under footsteps. I froze, holding my breath, listening harder. No, it was real. Someone was walking outside my truck. The steps were slow, deliberate, and coming closer. My heart pounded in my chest. Out here? In the middle of nowhere during a snowstorm? There shouldn't have been anyone for miles. But the steps kept approaching. And then, silence. Whoever, or whatever it was, had stopped right next to my cab. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just lay there, my ears straining in the silence. The curtains blocked my view, so I couldn't see a damn thing. All I knew was that someone was out there, standing so close I could practically feel their presence. Then came the sound that nearly stopped my heart. The door handle on the driver's side shifted. Someone was trying to get in. The sound of the handle rattling froze me in place. It wasn't forceful at first, just a slow, deliberate pull, like someone was testing the door. I had locked everything when I parked, but my mind raced. What if I had missed one? What if the back latch wasn't secured? The handle clicked again, this time harder, metal against metal. I stayed absolutely silent. My phone was in my hand, but out here I had no signal, no way to call anyone. After what felt like forever, the rattling stopped. But I didn't relax because I heard footsteps again, slow, crunching snow as they moved along the side of my truck. First toward the back, then circling. I realized Whoever it was, they were checking every single door, every possible way in. One side, then the other. Each handle rattling, tugging, pulling. It wasn't random. It was methodical. Like they knew exactly how many doors a truck had. Like they had done this before. I didn't dare peek through the curtains. Some part of me thought, if I don't look, maybe they won't know I'm in here. Then, everything went silent again. I waited. 5 minutes. 10. My eyes locked on the ceiling, body stiff with fear. Nothing. No more sounds. Finally, convincing myself it was over, I pulled the blanket up and tried to calm my breathing. Maybe it was just my imagination. Maybe I'd been awake too long. But deep down, I knew better. Hours must have passed. I had drifted into a half sleep. The kind where your body is exhausted, but your mind won't fully shut down. That's when it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. 3 slow, heavy knocks against the driver's side door. My eyes snapped open, heart slamming against my ribs. Someone was still out there. And this time, they wanted me to know it. I stayed completely still, every muscle locked. If they thought the truck was empty, maybe they'd go away. The knocking stopped. Silence stretched again. Then, footsteps. Walking around, back and forth, stopping, starting again, and then another sound. This one worse. Breathing, not my own. Heavy, steady, just on the other side of the glass. They were standing right next to my window. And they were breathing loud enough for me to hear through the cab. I clenched my jaw, sweat beading across my forehead despite the freezing cold. Seconds dragged like hours. I thought about grabbing the flashlight I kept under my seat, or maybe laying on the horn. But I was too afraid that any sudden movement would trigger them. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the breathing stopped. The rest of that night, I barely moved. I lay there, staring at the roof of my cab, praying for daylight. No more knocks, no more rattling, just silence. When the faint gray of dawn finally broke, I worked up the courage to pull back the curtains. What I saw made my stomach twist. Fresh footprints in the snow. Human. Barefoot. They circled the truck again and again, stopping at every door. And then they simply trailed off. Not back toward the road, not into the trees. They just ended. As if whoever had been out there had vanished into thin air. I didn't waste time. I fired up the engine, pulled back onto the road, and didn't stop until I reached a busy truck stop hours later. Even then, surrounded by people, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had been hunted that night. To this day, every time I park my rig in some dark, empty stretch of road, I remember the sound of that handle, the knock on the door, the breathing at my window, and I wonder, if my locks hadn't held that night, what would have happened to me?